Oh, what's this? Oh, that is Death Trap. Yeah. Oh, Death Trap's back, guys. All right. So we've got a pretty cool little build that we've brewed up here. Now, I said in a previous video that I would be making strange builds with weird uniques that nobody's using or have barely anybody is using, I should say, and are kind of overlooked. So maybe not the S tier, but it might be. We'll see later. Uh, but I do like this build so far, and let's break it down and see what's going on. So as you can see, we got a Withering Band of Trickery, and we're using that when we pop our concealment. So it spawns a little clone of us, and everything kind of wanders towards that, right? And a lot of times too, all these guys, they use their main attacks on that thing, right? So you're avoiding all of those nasty instant attacks, unlike I avoided this fear right here. I'm running away. But uh, that is it's very, really, I think it's pretty powerful actually. Now the ring itself, stats on it pretty much suck, but as long as it's serving a purpose, then that's all it needs to do. So we're also using the flicker steps here to make sure that we get our death traps back in time. A lot of our gear has the trap cooldowns on it, so we can get that thing down to like a 22 to 23-second cooldown, and then one dodge through everybody puts it down to a 10-second cooldown. You could double dodge them if you want, but you are wasting time with your damage. You only really need it to be on a 10-second cooldown for your next pull, because once you pop concealment into your next pull, right, you still have a dodge there. And so once they wander into that, you can still dodge through them, get 10 seconds back on it if you need to. So there's a couple, there's quite a few ways to set it up actually. And it's not like you have to use concealment, but it, I mean, to get them to wander in. But it just works so good. Um, because Death Trap, it doesn't pull from that far away. And so actually getting them to kind of wander into something, it works much, much better. And you can get them all grouped up. This is using Victimize. And so those Victimizes are all proccing on one another now. I'm going to be making another video using a little bit different variation of build with Pen Shot, because I think that Pen Shot is going to be very good for this. We just got to get some, accumulate some gear. And with this, my gear is very, very, very subpar for this. This is all stuff that I kind of just slapped together. So definitely, especially the necklace. The neck piece is kind of like your, it's like your foundation of your damage, because you can get, the malice and frigid finesse. I don't have any of those things on it, so its damage is going to kind of lack there. But this is actually just kind of a demonstration of what it's capable of with really, really crappy gear. And so this is for a 105 pit and really, really crappy gear. Actually, I'm pretty impressed with how it turns out, and there's a lot of improvements that can be done, and there's a lot of variations you can go with too. You can go with Andaro's Visage here, and kind of like the same kind of thing. Those poison ticks would be really, really good. The Doombringer and Andariel's kind of combo there, just to make those explosions hit everybody. It's just a really good way to get everybody grouped up and controlled. And what I'm noticing is later on, I'm at like 128 pit right now, uh, and so not in this video, but it's kind of like what I'm figuring out is that it's just one of the big things is actually just controlling everything that you're trying to kill. If they're just running around wandering, you're gonna have a hard time with the rogue. So you want to be able to get them grouped up so you can just compound all that damage, concentrate it into one area, and wipe them out. Uh, and the unstoppable thing, that's a big issue, but concealment kind of takes care of that, right? If you don't kill them in your first burst and they become unstoppable, you can just pop your concealment and wait for them to come off. So it actually does work pretty good. And just gotta build up the damage here and keep pushing with this. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna make some different variations and do some different videos on, but I think we have a good foundation with this right now, and it kind of forgoes the Godslayer crown, which is it's okay, but right, I think it's on a 12-second cooldown or something like that. This you can pretty much, if you really want, you can be popping these things quite a bit, because you just roll through one of these guys, and yeah, but the rotation is basically, you pop your concealment, they wander towards it, you pop your death trap down, you pop your caltrops right after your death trap. They get pulled into the death trap, caltrops. You throw the smoke bomb, dash into them, and then dodge through them right after your dash. You can kind of do it in one fluid motion. And you get that smoke bomb in there. They're all going to be CC'd. You get your smoke bomb back instantly because you're attacking them. So it's got some pretty good synergy. You know, like these little guys that these poison dudes right here. You definitely don't want to get too close to them because they'll poison you for like 10 times your amount of health. You just be chugging potions all the way to the boss. But as far as controlling goes, I like this build. Um, yeah, like I said, there's all kinds of variations you can make on it. Just kind of just laying a foundation for things right now. And bringing Death Trap back, man. Come on. All these ultimates are just really bad, right? It's kind of a joke. But at least Death Trap has something cool to do. You can pull things in with it. So, yeah, Flicker Steps, Withering Band Trickery. I think you can kind of get the gist of this, where this is going. And, for the most part, it's all about playstyle, right? What you want to do, creating new stuff. Because I'm getting bored, man. It's almost the end of the season, and I'm just trying to create new stuff to play with, man. And you get bored just playing the same old thing. And the tempering system, right? That thing, you can't use your good gear. You got to got to make new pieces of gear and new tempers and stuff. So that is kind of a hindrance, I think, on kind of like the overall quality of gameplay you can do, because you kind of get married to a build once you turn all these items that are worth billions of gold into a certain tempering. You're kind of restricting yourself. So, but it's all right. Maybe next season they'll come up with something a little better. Hopefully. So you can see here, yeah, these guys don't know what to do, man. You just got the little Withering Band of Trickery thrown down. And there we go. Now we're going to the boss. Now, like I said, boss damage, not the best right now because of, because not having the right gear. But it's actually not bad for, subpar gear that I have. So, kind of impressed. And we'll try to melt this boss as fast as possible and then jump over to the build and what makes it tick. He would just die already sometime. Thank you. Alright, hopping into what makes this build tick. Alright, so we're starting out with the Harlequin's Crest, of course, because it's awesome. Why wouldn't you use it? +4 to all skills. I mean, yep, there you go. Chest piece. Pretty important to have those subterfuge skills. It's going to give you a faster cooldown on your stealth, which you definitely need. We're going to run Daze on the chest piece, dodge chance, and we are running Umbrus there. Yep. Ideally, I'll explain this here in a little bit, but like you'll want to be running, if you can get it, you want to run resist all elements on something. We'll get to that in a second. Alright, so gloves, just your average gloves. A lot of this gear I just slapped together because I'm trying to, make all these weird builds and stuff. So none of this stuff is S tier gear, just kind of what I had. So those are okay, and we're running concussive strikes there, and we have our chance to freeze there. So it's kind of important because we only have that one chance to freeze, and we have our chance to stun here on the pants because we want to cover all those CCs for extra stagger, and of course just applying all those CCs to get those damage bonuses. Alright, so your Heartseeker pants here with the stun on them, and we are running Frostbitten there. We can double dip that frozen and stunned. Alright, so that's good. And here we are using the Flicker Steps to, as we saw, we were getting our death trap back by rolling through dudes. So very good for that. Alright, coming down, we are using our vampiric power, the Blood Rage. Moonrise on the bow. Standard bow. Just getting that extra damage. Alright, coming over, weapon. Same thing, here we go. We got our retribution there. And really, you got the caltrops duration. This one, I'm running the traps arm faster because it just made it more fluid for the build. And it was just, it was a little clunky without it. So you can opt out of the traps arm faster so you can get some more caltrop duration. I know it is better for boss burning, but for the sake of the video and for the sake of making it feel better and look better, I used the traps arm faster on this. And I actually bricked this thing earlier trying to roll something else on it, so it actually ended up working out. Alright, so coming up the ring, and like these rings, all this, like I said, this gear slapped together. So You do want lucky hit chance on it. I mean, this ring's actually pretty good. So, did get the trap cooldown on it. Not what I actually wanted in the first place, but like I said, had a bunch of gear laying around, had other stuff on it, so it ended up working out. Okay, Withering Band of Trickery. I know, probably throwing a lot of these things away, and you don't have to have this, but it is actually, it actually does, as you saw, work pretty good. If you're in there and you pop that stealth, and all those guys kind of they'll wander in close to where you're gonna pop the death trap. So it's actually pretty good, but you could make this work without it. And then right here, this thing, I literally just pulled it out of the vault and slapped some crap on it. So ideally, you definitely want Malice, Frigid Finesse, Exploit, something, on this, because you could literally double your damage output by having some of those on this that I don't have. So that's where you're going to get a lot of extra damage. Cooldown reduction is nice. That's not necessary. The trap cooldown reduction is. All right, so that's like the core gear here that you're going to be using for this build. And we are using Inner Sight, but I'll probably be making another video with combo points and using Pen Shot, because I mean, why not? That's just kind of lines them right up for a penetrating shot build, so it's good. The Paragon board. Now I have this Paragon board in my previous videos. The link in the description is the max roll build for all this. The only thing I changed for this specifically was I opted out of this cheap shot to end up getting this extra resistance right here to cap me on resistances, because yeah, I don't have any of the right gear. I want, as I was saying with that chest piece over here, you want this subterfuge skill, and I just didn't have anything that had max resistance and those subterfuge skills. So definitely want to try to get that, and then once you have, that resist all elements on that, you can actually grab this cheap shot right here, and you can drop this down here, and you can actually come in from over here to save yourself a lot of points, and you can actually get a little more damage in the build that way, and it'll work a lot better. But just working with what I got, so that's pretty much it for that. And as far as the actual skills go, we are coming up here. We'll start at the top. Heartseeker, of course. We're not using anything here. We're just grabbing Sturdy, grabbing Siphoning Strikes. All right, coming down, Caltrops, of course. We're running Concussive, right? Because we're going to be knocking them down with our daze, right? So that way we're triggering that extra effect to get to double dip that. The dash right here, we're grabbing all three of these, because when we are pulling them together like that, they are CC'd. So when we dash through them, right, we get our dash back quicker. And since we are not running, the only thing to break us out of CC is the concealment that we're also using to pull them in. So you got to kind of be careful, and then you kind of use that dash to stay out of the bad shit. You know what I mean? Okay, so coming over here, right, we have Smoke Grenade, and we are getting that Smoke Grenade cooldown back by attacking dudes. Kind of standard stuff. Dark Shroud, of course, running the crit on the Dark Shroud. Alright, coming down for Frigid Finesse, and like I said, you have those necklaces that'll really buff that damage up quite a bit. And then, I don't even know why there's a point there, but there is. That's, don't mind that. Grabbing Trap Mastery, Death Trap, of course, and then some run speed, Victimize. And that's all for that. So, and that's kind of the build breakdown. Alright, well, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.